In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hi Cavalier fans, Matt Trogdon here from Streaking the Lawn, here at the Be Good at Life studio, the ACC tournament, the New York Life ACC tournament. I am here with a living legend, Rick Barry. Rick, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, happy about that living part.
Aren't we all? Gosh, where you threw me off there. So you've been talking off camera a little bit about coaches in your career, coaches in your son's career, because son's careers that have kind of really kind of set the path for them. The ACC, as you know, is home to quite a few great coaches. We have 4 Hall of Famers. We think we have a pretty good one in Charlottesville too. What makes a good coach? What have you experienced from good coaches that is different from what you've experienced from not good coaches?
Well, I'm sure everybody has a different opinion, but to me, a really good coach, a great coach, is a coach who earns the respect of his players by treating them fairly, by not being a screamer and a holler. I'm not a big fan of screaming and holler. I almost quit high school basketball because of that. I think you have to communicate. Communication is key in life in any relationship, whether it's parents and children, teachers and students, coaches and players. And I think it's an important element. And the most important element, I think, for a coach to have a chance to be super successful is they really have to recognize their talent. Now, in college, they have an advantage in that they can control everything. And a lot of coaches have their systems. And so they go out and they have the luxury of recruiting a kid that they think will fit into his system, play in the system. To me, I think you want to look for a player who has a great natural feel for the game. It's the one thing that can't be taught. I can teach you how to pass. I can't teach you how to see. So if you don't have that one quality, I don't think you'll ever be great at the game. The really great players have that natural, inherent feel for the game of basketball, and it's easy to spot. When I look at players for scouting purposes, it's the first thing I look for. I don't get hung up on their athleticism. I think today, a lot of scouts and people get hung up on the athleticism of the players. I'll give you 10 athletes. I'll take 10 players. I'm going to beat you more than you're going to beat me. Yeah. And I don't bet, but I'll bet on that. And the reason being is because if you have a great feel and you take the guy who knows how to play, have the great feel for the game, even though they're not as athletic, they're going to do things much more efficiently, much more effectively. And so a coach needs to, I think, recognize the talent he has and utilize that talent in the best way possible. Instead of at times taking guys and you stick them in a system and it doesn't work really well for them because they don't play that kind of basketball. It's not going to help them. There are a lot of stories and guys I know. I always tell the one story that sticks out in my mind so much in the pro level. There's a guy by the name of Dale Ellis who played for the Mavericks. And he played for Dick Motta, who was a slow down, methodical kind of guy. And Dale was more of a freelance shoot the three, great shooter. And he didn't do anything at Dallas. He gets traded to the Sonics. And the Sonics all of a sudden play a different, I turn him loose and leads the league in three-point shooting. I mean, he's an all-star player. Why? Because he went to a team where the coach put him in the right position to maximize his full potential and use his skills. And so I think that's a critical element for a coach to be able to do that. And then I think on the college level, I think it's also important to take a real deep caring about that individual to help him make the most of his life and care about him as a person, not just as a basketball player. I really think that's important. And I think a lot of those kids actually need that because a lot of those kids are coming from very difficult backgrounds and situations where a lot of them didn't even have a male person to be able to guide them. It was their grandmother or their mother or something of that nature. And so I think it's really important to do that. And a lot of coaches have done that. And I think a lot of them, when you talk to them, and I've obviously known a lot of them over the years, that's the one thing that they talk about the meaningful thing to them, the impact they had on those kids' lives to turn their lives around. And so that's what makes, I think, great coaches. It's all about caring about the kids and treating them fairly and communicating with them.
So you bring up an interesting point. So I'm from Virginia. One of our hometown heroes, Allen Iverson, was not a UVA guy, but he grew up in Hampton. All-star legend, has had some financial trouble since he retired. Do you think the league needs to do more to kind of to help players make proper decisions?
They try, they really do.
Yeah.
I mean, they have all kinds of opportunities, seminars available to them, people to come to make themselves available, and it's just, again, a part of your environment and who you have around you, and you just have to make wise decisions, and a lot of times guys don't do that. It's really unfortunate to see that happen. I mean, you look at some of the other players, and Antoine Walker, $108 or $110 million, and he goes bankrupt. How do you go bankrupt when you make $110 million? I mean, seriously.
Right.
Put the money right there. He would have never gone bankrupt with New York Life. Are you kidding me? He would have set his life up for sure. Every one of these players coming out should go and be talking to somebody from New York Life and go in there and get a nice whole life policy and front load the policy and be set for the rest of their life, and they would never have to worry about what happened to some of these guys. That's why I understand what they're doing. This is such a great thing. This is the kind of stuff that these guys should be learning about.
Right.
And because this is, again, like we do in the commercial, which I had a lot of fun with, it's not sexy, but by God, it's consistent and it works. I mean, it's only worked for 160 plus years, for heaven's sake. I mean, how much more proof do you want? It's kind of like me talking about my sons and nobody wants to listen to me. You know, my sons could play. These coaches would never listen to me. And look what they've done with their lives. And I got another one, my son Canyon. If somebody will listen to give him a chance in the NBA, he's going to be a heck of a player if he gets that chance. But do they listen to me? No. But listen about this. Listen about this, you younger people out there. Set your life up. New York Life. Check it out.
So that's great. So you are you're in. I don't know if you're involved, but you're a big advocate for this new 3-on-3 league that's coming out for
Yeah, fun.
NBA players.
It's gonna be fun. Alan's gonna be there. In fact,
Yeah.
I think he's doing it because you said he had financial trouble, so he's gonna be a coach and a player, so that he'll make some more money that
Yeah.
way. But you know, here's the thing: a lot of guys are getting out at an age now where they're still young. They still have a lot athletically left in them. And the one thing that you miss the competitiveness, you miss that part of the game. And so if you have an opportunity to go out there and still have some fun doing this, and not as demanding a fashion where you're traveling around and playing 3, 4, 5 games in a week, and you're playing full court and playing
Right.
extensive minutes, and you can play 3-on-3 and have substitutes and have some fun playing the game that you have this great love and passion for, I think it should be a lot of fun, and I think it's going to be competitive. And you know, Ice Cube, he's a great guy. And to have somebody like him, as successful as he is, behind it, you know that it's not something where he's ever going to let the guys, you know, not get paid their money and have it falter. And they've got a lot of interest from a lot of different people. It's going to be interesting to see what happens at the trials, because they'll have trials for it. They're not going to let some overweight guy who can't run back and forth across the, from top of the key to the baseline and back. They won't let them play. But I think it would be very competitive, because there's an opportunity, because of the way they structured it, for the guys to be kind of like owners, even though they're playing and sharing the revenues. But it should be fun, so I'm looking forward to doing that and having an opportunity to coach it and be a part of it, and hope that it's successful. It's another way for me to stay around the game and have some fun and see some of these guys that I admired playing after I got out of it. I was still a big fan of the game, and so and it's the basics of the game. I mean, 3-on-3, more 3-on-3 is played than anything else. I mean, 1-on-1, 2-on-2, 3-on-3. That's the roots of the game.
You can see it here in Brooklyn, walking around
Oh
town.
yeah, just go to a playground and check out and see what's there. I mean, you see it all the time. In fact, when we were I was in college at Miami, we had a competition all the time. We played 1-on-1 against each other. I took great pride in that. I took pride in never wanting to lose a 1-on-1 competition amongst the team. And so yeah, but 3-on-3 also is great, because it's basic fundamental principles and things you do, like famous Phil Jackson here with this triangle offense. That's 3-on-3 basketball.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's 3-on-3 basketball. You just eliminate the other two guys, and you're playing with the triangle, cutting off, doing the other things. It's basic fundamental basketball 101, and it's fun to do. And I've got some interesting rules. 4-point shot, that'll be interesting to see who's going to be shooting from 4-point.
I'm sure Alan will shoot.
Alan will shoot from.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course
Yeah.
he'll shoot from out there. I'm sure he will. But some of the other guys, well, Rashard Lewis probably will, because he's got that range.
So yeah, and actually, a Virginia grad, Roger Mason Jr. is the
Right.
president and commissioner. And
Yeah.
he left the job at the NBA Players Association.
And that's, well, then the other thing is here's somebody that's been around the game, he's played the game, he knows it, he saw the inner workings of what's
Yeah.
happened with the NBA, and so he understands what the game is about and what this is about. And I've had some good conversations with Roger, and I try to help them and talk about it and promote it some. And they're going to be going around to different cities around the country and having the opportunity for people to do it. It should be fun. They'll have a lot of different opportunities for fans to get involved. I mean, with today's world and social media and all the other things that are going on, and then they'll have 4 games. People get to see 4 games every day of 3-on-3, and of course all the teams will play in one day, and so it should be a lot of fun.
So I've in our conversation, I've heard you talk to some of the other guys. you seem to be more of an advocate of a free-flowing offensive game. At UVA, we're definitely a
No, you're not.
defense-first school.
Well, that's fine.
So can we come to some sort of agreement here, some sort of compromise on?
Well, defense will keep you in the game.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, offense is kind of a ride.
Yep.
Okay, defense can be constant.
Yep.
And so you really need to hang your hat on being committed to playing tough defense
Yep.
to give yourself a real shot to win. But along with it, you better find a way to put some points on the board. Okay, so you got to score points.
Yep.
And so I have no problem with that. I mean, all the teams that win are generally pretty darn good defensive teams. No, I've never seen a team in the NBA win a championship that wasn't one of the better defensive teams.
Mhm.
You don't have to be the best, but you better be one of the better ones to give yourself a shot. And then, of course, if you have a really good offense to go with pretty good defense, now you got a real shot at doing it. And that's kind of the fun to do it. I mean, you can always go overboard to the extent that, you know, it's all about the defense.
Mhm.
But I haven't seen a team in basketball that's all about the defense and then have an offense win. I mean, they might do well and have a good season and do stuff, but if they won, you know, I mean, going back to Virginia, I mean, they had a pretty good team when they won, when they had some of those other guys. They had pretty good offensive players on some
Absolutely.
of those teams, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't all defense.
Three NBA players on that team.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, I rest my case.
Absolutely. Well, Rick, thank you very much for your time. We appreciate it. Thank you guys for joining us once again here at the Be Good at Life studio. We have a little bit more content. We got one more game tonight, and we'll be sending some tweets out from the Barclays Center. So thank you for joining us. Rick, thanks again for
My
your time.
pleasure.